Decision time. The bomb, planted deep within a road tunnel, smashes the weekday afternoon into 1,000 pieces in a single second. Everything is silent, as the world stands still and waits for the human beings caught up in the explosion to begin to take stock of their unthinkable new situation. Then the smoke, a whisper at first, then thick and black, begins to curl out onto the road, followed by bloodied and dazed individuals who have escaped from their cars. The noise of moans and cries grows louder before being drowned out a few minutes later by sirens as the first emergency service vehicles arrive. No one would want to have to take charge of a disaster of this sort, but someone has to. And let's imagine it's you. How do you think you'd respond if you were in command of the emergency response to this situation? Let's assume you're the senior fire officer. You've just arrived on the scene and are responsible for directing operations from a mobile control centre that's moving into place close to the mouth of the tunnel. At first, it's all pretty textbook. A team of first responders is inside the tunnel. Within a few minutes, walking casualties start to emerge, followed by more seriously injured people, carried out on stretchers. There's no fire, but the tunnel is partially collapsed and there's an imminent risk that more of the concrete roof could cave in. Firefighters report 2 or 3 fatalities and others are seriously injured. But then comes a new piece of information. There's been a 999 call from someone claiming to be the bomber. And what he has to say is chilling. The bomb that went off wasn't the only one, he tells the operator. Inside the tunnel there's a second device, and it's set to explode in 15 minutes' time. In the blink of an eye, you have become responsible for a decision that's unenviable in the extreme. Are you going to act on this new piece of information? And if so, what will you do? This is one of the scenarios we often use when running our training courses on high-stakes decision-making. We know our scenarios are tough, we lay them on the table, and we see the faces of people who have many years of experience as they consider what they'd do. Usually what we find is they ask a few rapid questions before deciding to pull their staff out of the tunnel to avoid further deaths. How far in the tunnel are my staff? Roughly half a mile. How long until I can get more support? 20 minutes for more staff. Do we know how credible the information is? No. Source unknown. How many casualties? Not entirely sure. Upwards of 30? How many are ambulant? Again, unknown, roughly over half. You might have asked similar questions. What we haven't revealed is that we haven't even arrived at the really difficult decision. So, here it is. 4 minutes after you've started to pull your teams out of the tunnel, bringing as many injured people as is possible with them, you receive a message from a fire officer in the tunnel. I'm with an 8-year-old girl. She's trapped by a metal girder. I need pedal cutters. If you send some in, I'll have her out of here in a couple of minutes. And then he continues. I can't leave her here on her own. She's the same age as my daughter. You have to get me those pedal cutters. Now this is a really difficult decision. What we find in our courses is that people want to ask more questions, and sometimes repeat ones they have an answer to or have already been told there is no more information on. How long is the tunnel again? Do we know if the girl is conscious? How credible is the intelligence about the second bomb? Sometimes we spend several minutes discussing these questions, but in real life that's time you wouldn't have. Because while you're prevaricating, that second bomb could explode at any moment, killing both the 8-year-old girl and the firefighter, and anyone else in the vicinity. It's easy to see why people want to stall, why they want to ask more questions, why they're resistant to taking a decision. Because this is one of those decisions where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Let's press pause for a moment on our tunnel disaster and ask what makes a decision like this so incredibly difficult. When we tested it on fire officers during one training session, it led to stand-up arguments about what was the best course of action. And there are no easy answers.